Oh, baby, it's go time. It's go time. And welcome into the stream, guys. Hopefully, you're having a strong start to your Monday. And we have a dandy of a Monday Night Football game tonight with Detroit taking on Baltimore. Let's go Lions since I'm a Steelers fan. But we got a lot to jump into. For the next hour, we're going to be really focused on betting player props for the NFL. There are a couple of sports books that are offering some really nice promo boosts and opportunities, and we want to make sure we take advantage of that. And, baseball, there's 3 games tonight. In my opinion, there's one game that has a little bit of significance that we can focus on, but there's no WNBA. It's kind of a quiet Monday. That's why there's only one stream today. But we're going to kind of dive into first some DFS. We'll look at some DraftKings Pick 6, PrizePicks, Underdog. We'll kind of look at some of the more popular DFS books using OddsJam's Fantasy Optimizer. Let me throw a refresh on this really quick. We're going to look at 3 pick entries here at the moment. There is a Lamar Jackson discount. Make sure you guys take advantage of that. A pretty solid discount that you want to use for his passing yards. When it comes to stats, I'm just going to select everything like we see with this Jared Goff play. I'm not a fan of fantasy scores, so I'm just going to uncheck fantasy scores. Don't really want to see them here at the moment. Brant, appreciate that, man. Dr. Slips, what's good, man? Elwin, what's going on, guys? Would love to hear how it went for you this past weekend betting football. If college was better for you, was pro better for you, was pre-match better for you, was live better for you. And then also, never mind talking fantasy. And how your fantasy team did. So let me know if you want to let me know that did you have Trey Tucker? Love to hear it if you put him in your lineup. This Lions-Ravens game is very interesting to me. Both teams have incredible offenses and incredible defenses. So, they really have strengths on both sides of the ball. Not sure how this baby's going to play out. Now, when I'm looking over here, guys, on PrizePicks, I prefer to run 2-man slips, right? You can run, or 3-man slips. You can run 5- and 6-man entries. That's totally fine. I've rocked those before in the past, but you're just going to see a lot more variance. So I would rather not see that type of variance. Looks like Gibbs and Henry over 1.5 touchdowns. We're getting this at -122 on a 3-pick slip. This is not a good price to Pinnacle. It's not a good price to DraftKings. So I mean, OddsJam must be really putting a lot of weight on Hot Streak's opinion, which I think is garbage. I think this is a garbage play. I think that, this is just OddsJam's optimizer. A lot of times I agree with what they have to offer. I think this is a very poor recommendation because of the price that you're getting. Even if you played this in a 5-pick entry at -119 odds, a flex, 5-pick flex, this is still a worse price to Pinnacle and DraftKings. So I completely disagree with this. Not to say that Henry or Gibbs can't get in the end zone a lot tonight. It's just the price that we're receiving is trash. So I don't know why this optimizer's showing this. I try to keep it very real on these streams, guys, and tell you if I like something or if I don't like this. Now, if I'm looking at Gibbs just to score a touchdown, this price is slightly better to Pinnacle. If I had to pick one, I'd rather play the Gibbs over on his touchdowns compared to this combo. But I don't like this because it's only 3 cents off to DraftKings and 2 cents off to Pinnacle. So I'm not really a fan of either of those plays. If we're looking at Thomas and Collier, this would be for tomorrow. We do have the WNBA in their semifinals of the playoffs. Not a good price to FanDuel. Not a good price to Pinnacle. This is a play that I don't like. So there isn't much using 2 minimum data points, meaning at least 2 other books have to showcase their price, their odds, that I like over here. So I'm just going to move on to Underdog. I don't like that at all. So again, if we do the 2 minimum data points, sometimes I'll go 3. Again, I'll remove any type of fantasy scores. Let's see what we have coming up. Okay, so Wilson, again, this would be a play for tomorrow. Under 36.5 points in rebounds. We're getting this at -116. FanDuel and Caesars have this at -114 for the under 35.5. So I like this play because we're getting an extra point or rebound, and we're getting slightly almost the same price. So this would be a play that I'm like, yeah, let's go. Lamar on his passing attempts. FanDuel's at 128. Again, this is assuming that you're playing a 6-pick slip, guys. If you're playing, which what I would prefer, a 3-pick entry with no insurance, I still like that play. I don't know why it completely disappears off the board, but if that Wilson play was there, I like it. Lamar, this is only 6 cents off to FanDuel. But I don't mind this play. I can get behind the Lamar play. Okay. This dude, I'm not even going to try to say his name. The over 13, it's 13.5 on PrizePicks. It's 12.5 on Sleeper. Again, though, guys, when it comes to some of these esports plays, this is the hardest part with me with the OddsJam Optimizer. I don't have any great deal of trust in underdogs line or PrizePicks line or sleepers line. It's not like this Lamar play. This Lamar play is apples to oranges when it comes to this Counter-Strike Go play. Because I know that Pinnacle's sharp because I bet Pinnacle all the time for NFL, right? I deem that FanDuel's a little bit sharper than maybe some of these other rec books. Esports, I have no clue looking at the odds. If you watch a lot of Counter-Strike, right, you're a big fan of maybe this matchup or these teams and you know this dude and you watch him a lot, you'll have some insights. But if you're just looking at the odds, I really can't tell you if this is actually a good play, right? So I'm not really anti-OddsJam Optimizer in this play. I have no idea. And I don't really want to, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to put my hard-earned money down on something that I don't have any confidence in. I'm just not going to do that. Dr. Slips, yeah, I mean, they'll be back. They'll be back. I mean, I don't work on the back end of OddsJam, in terms of like how they scrape and pull their odds for all these different sports books. But we've seen this in the past with MyBookie. So they're not gone forever. I would just say relax. They'll come back. But they'll be there eventually. Obviously, though, if you can still use Props Builder on MyBookie, XBet, and BUSR. Props Builder's still available on OddsJam. So there is some use cases still for those sports books, even though maybe their individual plays might not pop up for those books. You can still use Props Builder over there. So it's not great, but it still works. But it's just on how they pull their odds on the back end. Obviously, this hasn't been for a couple days. It's been for, I'd say, maybe a month now. So it's a little concerning. But when I reached out, I did not receive an ETA on when Bet365 or MyBookie, XBet, or BUSR was going to be returning. So, and it's been a minute, right? And really for Bet365, I mean, I'd like to bet NFL props, but I need Bet365 back for NBA season. I definitely need them back. Let's take a look at Better. There isn't really like the underdog play. The underdog is maybe not a slip that I'm going after right away. I would go with 5-man insured instead of 6-man insured. The price is negligible. It's pretty much the same. Here, though, no Pinnacle, right? So if I don't see Pinnacle with these plays right here, I'm like, okay, I'm just moving on from this. I don't really have much. When I see Pinnacle and FanDuel here, okay. So like Alyssa Thomas, under on her points, 11 cents off to FanDuel. That's okay. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's just okay. And it's 13 cents off to Pinnacle. So this play's fine. I'm okay with this play, right? To Slaw, we don't see Pinnacle's odds, but FanDuel's at 15 cents off. So Tesla, I have a little more confidence in the Thomas play than Tesla, but I'm okay with Tesla, right? Jackie Young, it's not bad off the Pinnacle. 9 cents to FanDuel again. This is okay. So I'm like fine with these three plays, but I'm not like crazy about it. There you go, Bryce. There you go. Yeah, Dr. Slips, all you got to do is on BUSR, you just go to same game parlays. Just click same game parlays. BUSR, MyBookie, and XBet all use the same odds provider. They're the same book essentially. They all use the same odds and they all use Props Builder. So they all have Props Builder. If you guys didn't know that, they're basically all the same book. So you don't need to have MyBookie, XBet, and BUSR. If you have one of them, then you're in good shape, right? And the best part is if you get limited on MyBookie, then you have two other books that are literally the same thing as MyBookie. So that's kind of a nice thing about those books. Pavetta over on his strikeouts. Again, this Brewers-Padres game is the only game on the MLB slate tonight that has some type of significance. Brewers want to lock down home field advantage throughout the playoffs on the National League side. Padres are trying to, they have a wild card spot fairly secured, but still they're trying to lock a playoff spot. So this is a game that actually has some significance. The Braves-Nationals game doesn't mean jack squat. The Cardinals are out of the playoffs tonight, and the Giants have very slim hopes of making a playoff spot with 6-7 days left in the Major League Baseball season. So this Padres-Brewers game, the only one that really has something that gets me excited. Not much on, I mean, that better play guys, again, like I'm almost at the point with this, when I'm looking at these plays for better, like I don't really want to play this slip. I don't want to force something if I don't have to. Forcing it in general is just not great for life. Never really works out that well. If you know, you know. So Fliff. Fliff, 2 minimum data points. Again, guys, if you want to go beyond 2 minimum data points, that's fine. If you want 5 minimum data points, totally cool. Right? So looking at like LSU, Ole Miss, that means 5 other books are showing their odds here. This is 10 cents off from Pinnacle to Fliff. That's nice, right? Point spread plays, I like that. 8 cents off to FanDuel, that's cool with me. So I could, I would put maybe a half unit on this LSU plus 1.5. This is going to be a dandy. We got a couple really, really good college football games this Saturday. Oregon, Penn State, LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama. I mean, come on. Come on. I'm going to be going back to Pennsylvania. So, guys, just so you know, there's no stream on Friday. I am catching a red-eye flight Thursday night and flying back to Pennsylvania. I get into Pittsburgh at like 10 in the morning. So there won't be a stream Friday. There will be a stream Saturday. Sunday, I don't know because the Steelers play at 9:30 in the morning, and I basically drop everything to watch the Steelers. They're playing in Ireland. So stream on Sunday is iffy. But I will be in Pennsylvania for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll get No Vig back. I'll get ProfitX back. I'll get some books back in action. Let's take a look at DraftKings Pick 6. 3 pick entries, no insurance. Okay, Kyle, again, we could do the minimum data points again here if I wanted to go 3 minimum data points. Aaliyah Boston, again, you'd have to play these games for tomorrow if they're WNBA. This is good to FanDuel. There's no Pinnacle odds. Okay. Howard under on points. Again, I like this play a little bit more. I have more confidence in the Howard play than Boston just because of where Pinnacle's at and FanDuel's at. I could go with Boston. I can go with Howard. If I'm looking for another WNBA play, I would say, yeah, Mitchell. I'm okay with Mitchell, Howard, and Boston here. If this is what you wanted to rock as your 3-pick entry, I'm okay with this. This would be the play that I'm okay with. I'd put 1/4 of 1 unit on this play, Boston, Howard, and Mitchell. So let me go over here and I'll log into Pick 6. I can't share this with you guys. I have an older iPhone, so I can't share this with you guys. But, we'll go ahead and throw this over here. We do have a 50% winnings boost on any Monday night NFL entry, which is honestly, like, that's a really good boost when it comes to this. I'm also getting some boosts on Collier and Wilson for their points. So we're getting some nice boost here on Pick 6. When it comes to, we have 3 different options between Wilson, Collier, and Mitchell. We obviously want Mitchell under on 3, so I wouldn't take her over on points. But I'll take the Wilson over on points. And then I'll just grab the Boston and Howard play because those would be the 2 that I'm most interested in. So let's look at rebounds and assists over here. This is, again, just going to be a 3-pick entry. Boston, okay. And we're going to go less. And then we're taking Howard under on points. And obviously with the semifinals, not as much going on. But there we go. All right, less than 10.5. We're getting a little bit of a boosted play here. That's cool. And I will throw a $25 spot on this bad boy. Maximum's $20. That's fine for this boost. So $20, guys. Some pretty good boost over here for the WNBA. So there we go. All right, so I'm in on that one for 25. I won't add it to my parlay tracker. I'll just have Pickett track it. Normally, guys, when it comes to DFS, I just let Pickett track it. If you haven't checked recently, Alex Monahan's been on an absolute bender when it comes to DraftKings Pick 6. Huge heater he's been on, so you definitely want to check him out. All right, let's jump over to some arbitrage tool plays first. Diego, hi, Billy. You probably get asked this a lot, but is positive EV betting going to be possible next year with the new tax law? I've been doing this for a year now and think it might not be profitable soon. So, Diego, positive EV, in terms of just the strategy, will always be alive and well. As long as these sports books are in competition for your business, if these sports books, DraftKings, FanDuel, ESPN, Caesars, MGM, if they all just become one sports book, then positive EV betting could be toast. But if we have FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM, and ESPN Bet all setting their own odds, in terms of the strategy, that will be alive and well. In terms of the new tax laws for betting, I think what you'll end up seeing is that a lot of people will just go offshore. They'll just go offshore sportsbook betting, just like the old days before sports betting was legal. Like before 2018, guys, like positive EV betting has been around for decades. Like this is, as long as there's market competition, the strategy is alive and well. So people just go to Bovada or Bookmaker or Bet Online and they just place their bets over there, or like MyBookie, right? So that would be the move, where most people would then just go offshore if the tax law is not fixed, because not financial, not legal advice, because I'm not certified. You want to talk to your local tax professional, but you'd want to talk to them to see how it's going to go, or if you can do the math on your own numbers in terms of what you're wagering, what you've made, and then what you would owe with taxes. But yeah, I mean, if the tax law gets pushed across the goal line and it doesn't get repealed or redacted and changed, then yeah, it's probably going to be pretty devastating for the American books. But the strategy is still going to work. If you don't care about the tax laws, then the strategy is still going to work no matter what. As long as books have different odds, then you're never going to really run into that problem. But if the strategy is going to be profitable enough, that just depends on your edge, right? Like if you're an originator and you originate NBA player props, then yeah, you're going to make a ton of money, but it might not be worth it tax-wise. So it just depends on, if you're only making maybe a 1.5 or 2% edge positive EV betting, yeah, probably not worth it. But if you're making a 15% return on your investment, then it probably is worth it. So you just have to run the numbers and talk to your local tax pro. Yeah, John. So, with obviously if you live in Illinois, then FanDuel and DraftKings have a 50% tax law. So remember, guys, like it's pretty simple. If you have to pay 50 cents on something, or if it's $5 on something, then obviously whatever edge that you're showing on OddsJam is just going to be less, because you have to now pay. You're not getting paid out as much as you should, because you now have to make some other payment to FanDuel or DraftKings, right? That's how that's going to go. Recap. Hey, Billy, do you know if Bet105 is a sharp book? Well, Bet105 copies Pinnacle's odds 95% of the time. So if you think Pinnacle's sharp, then Bet105 would be sharp. But if I know professional sports bettors that bet into Pinnacle all the time. And I think Pinnacle, there's different times. I've bet into Bet105 all the time, guys. I think it's a great book. If you live in America and you want to bet against Pinnacle, which is going to highlight some different ARBs plays here, guys, and go through the filters. So pay attention to the filters here. I'm not going to talk through them. But if you live in America and you want to bet into Pinnacle, well, you can't bet into Pinnacle, because Pinnacle is not, if you're a U.S. citizen, you live in America, you can't bet in Pinnacle, but you can at Bet105. If you use code BillyC, your first $100 deposit, creating a new account, you're going to get a $50 free bet. It's a 1x rollover. Means that you would have to wager $150, your 100 plus your $50 bonus bet one time, and then you can withdraw the funds. It's a great book. There's a lot of times I want to bet into Pinnacle. When I do, I go bet it over at Bet105. So it's really nice to have that option to bet into that book for sure. So yeah, recap. I would say in general, they're pretty sharp because they copy Pinnacle's odds a lot. But there's plenty of times where I'd love to bet into Pinnacle. And that's where we could do so over at Bet105. Hey, Ken, what's going on? Dan, afternoon, man. Not in Pittsburgh. Not yet, Dan. I will be on Friday. So, as I mentioned at the top of the stream, guys, no stream on Friday. I'm flying out Thursday at 11:30 at night from Arizona. Catching a red eye, going to Pittsburgh. I land in Pittsburgh like 10 a.m. Eastern time, so there won't be a stream on Friday. There will be a stream on Saturday, and then because the Steelers play in Ireland on Sunday morning, I don't know if there's going to be a stream. I normally stream for everything, but like the Steelers are the one thing that I will stop everything in my life for just to watch. So that we'll play it by ear on Sunday. Mark, in terms of, we'll take a look at what Sleeper. We'll take a look real quick to see. Normally, Sleepers this is the only time you can play them is when they have a promo, but normally their plays are garbage when we're using the optimizer. They never provide any value at all. So if we were to try to find something that I could get behind on, let me set this up to like, because these are all going to be red plays. So I'm just trying to find something that is like kind of okay. I don't like the Hopkins play. Let's set this maybe to 3 minimum data points. What do we get here? Yeah, they're not really much here that I could really get behind on. I don't really have another play to give you for sleeper. I understand when you get those promos, you want to maximize that value and try to find something. I don't really have a recommendation here. I would say, unfortunately, this is one of the rare times on the stream I'd say just degen it or just don't bet it. If you want to bet it, bet it. But, maybe hopefully you get lucky. But there's nothing of value on the optimizer that says, like, we should bet something. I tweeted out a slip earlier, guys. Parlay Play is running a boosted play. I think they're running like Zay Flowers and they're running Amon-Ra. But I took the Amon-Ra anytime touchdown, rushing or receiving. And he could get a rushing touchdown tonight. So that I put 3 other Esports plays on there. Even if they bump by 1, they might still be worth taking. But arbitrage here, not the best options. This tennis play, really surprised that there isn't any NFL plays right now. This is kind of surprising, but okay. Let's take a look at some EV plays. And first thing that I'm going to say is, guys, there are some different boosts going on. FanDuel has a profit boost. Onyx has a boost going on right now that I don't really like. It's like who can put together the longest parlay and win. Honestly, guys, it's a shit promo for you sports bettors. Basically, what they're saying is who can create the longest odds parlay out there and win it. And as you guys know, the longer the odds on your parlay, the higher the chance that you're going to lose. So it's a promo. I don't like the promo at all. DraftKings has a decent promo going on right now. Early on, I was looking at some NFL anytime touchdown scores. And let me throw this in right here. I was looking at the Lions and the Ravens. I did like Amon-Ra St. Brown anytime touchdown, Onyx, DraftKings, or Hard Rock. And I also liked Sam Laporta. Amon-Ra move. This was at plus 130 earlier, guys. 125 is like okay to Hard Rock. Again, Pinnacle's only taking $500 on this, but they're my GOAT when it comes to touchdowns. If you guys want to know what the fair odds are, right? So if you have a Hard Rock account, you can see that the odds on Hard Rock are plus 125. DraftKings is plus 120. What you could do is click the show no vig odds. Look at what Pinnacle's price is. Pinnacle's price is plus minus 121. So we need odds higher than plus 121 for there to be EV. So the DraftKings play wouldn't have any EV. The Hard Rock play would have a little EV. So it's still slightly EV to bet Amon-Ra anytime touchdown over on Hard Rock. If you can get this at no vig at 127, there's only $10, but I'd rather bet that over at no vig. If we come down here, though, if you see a play that is highlighted in green, that is the best odds possible. If it's very bright green, then it's the best. So like Charlie Kohler, the best odds are over here at MGM. You could see it's the brightest of the greens, or the only green. David Montgomery, 144. That's a very good price. Where's that at? No vig. I don't mind that. That's an EV play there. 144. Pinnacle's got this at minus 142. This is an ARB to Pinnacle over at no vig. I'd put a half unit, maybe 3/4 of a unit on David Montgomery. There's only $431. That's not liquidity that scares me. Again, if you don't have access to no vig, but you have access to ProfitX, then go create a play for David Montgomery to score a touchdown at like plus 140 odds. That's what I would do, or plus 145 odds, right? I've mentioned this in the last couple times on the stream. If it's important to note that if you don't have MGM or you're limited on BetMGM, but you have an exchange, then go create a market for DeAndre Hopkins anytime touchdown score and put it at plus 380, right? So now you're getting a really good price. Your order might not get filled, but why not try? The worst thing that happens is you get your money returned to you. So if you are someone, and I've mentioned this a bunch of times, OGs, DGens, I know you've heard this spiel, but for those of you that are kind of coming in or new to finding me, if you're like, dude, I'm limited on Fanatics, I'm limited on Bet365 and BetMGM, this play does nothing for me. But if you have a ProfitX or no vig, then why aren't you going and creating the same play that's over from BetMGM? Just go create it at no vig. Why wouldn't you do that? People that just make excuses because they're limited on books, but they have access to the exchanges are idiots because you lack creativity. Go create a market. Instead of waiting for the liquidity to come to you, go create that liquidity. That's what I would do. So, and really the exchanges are going to give you infinite possibilities. Even if you have access to the exchanges, but you don't have access to any of these books, OddsJam's still really worth it because then you can just go copy all the plays that you see on MGM that are from the EV tool and make markets over on NoVig or ProfitX. I would do that all day long. What else do we got here? I'm just kind of perusing NFL anytime touchdown scores. Gibbs, if you can get this at minus 111 on NoVig, it's a high number. $2,000 is a decent chunk of money. It's good to Pinnacle. Not great. It's not good to Circa, but I don't mind a quarter of a unit maybe on Gibbs to get a touchdown. Jamison Williams, this is decent on MGM. Also, though, as we mentioned before, FanDuel is running this like 30% profit boost SGP. So that might be enough of a boost that if you wanted to take Jamison Williams, you're going to get some type of boost over here. So make sure, guys, you go in the promotions. And I'm also excited for this weekend coming up, Ryder Cup. If you guys, one of the best events in my opinion in sports, period, is the Ryder Cup. Very excited just to sit down and watch it. So a 30% profit boost over here on FanDuel. Make sure that you claim that promo. I don't see, so like Keaton Mitchell would be, this is actually a really good play, plus 1,900 odds. Okay. What else do we got here? Lamar, actually over at DK, to compare to Pinnacle, this is good. Lamar, anytime rushing touchdown over at Onyx. Again, if I come up here to the top, click the show NoVig odds, and then I just do a little control F for Lamar. Plus 164. So anything that's above plus 164 is EV. So I would go over to DraftKings and I would go ahead and hit this up on Lamar. And I'm going to go do that right now over at Onyx. I'm going to log into Onyx on my phone and we'll place this bet. Again, I don't just tell you what to bet. I also bet it myself if I believe in it. Now, in this case, guys, you can go to the calculator and try to figure out what the optimal bet size is for this. For me, I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip and take a guess based on my bankroll. It's probably going to be a $100 wager. So let me go ahead and showcase my phone here so that you know that I'm not lying, that I'm actually telling you the truth, that I'm placing bets. And we'll kind of go from there. Anytime you're ready, cell phone. There we go. All right, so Lions and the Ravens. Let's look at some touchdown scores. Anytimes. Lamar is actually now plus 165. So this is not a play that I would wager on over at Onyx anymore because the odds changed. At 180, I would do it. I'm not doing it at plus 165. So that's kind of unfortunate. Billy, no, I do. I still do the AI slip generator. I just kind of switched it up from time to time, brother. That's all. I'll get back to it tomorrow for sure, showing the AI slip generator. If we have some time later in the stream, I'll showcase it. I don't mind showcasing it. It's just wanted to give OddsJam's optimizer a little bit more shine. But yeah, no problem. Let me catch up on the chats here. Dan, how are the sign-up bonuses out there? I'm going to be somewhat close. I'm not sure if you're talking to me, Dan, or what there. Anthony, yes, we are, Anthony. We're almost at 7,500 subscribers. So I think we're like 90 or 92 subscribers short. If you guys don't know, I'm sure I've been saying this a lot for a while, but we're finally getting there. That I am giving away $75 to 7 people on the live stream on the day. The next stream, once we hit 7,500 subs, that'll be 7.5K day. And I got balloons already ordered. They're here in my house. I just got to blow them up whenever we get there. We're going to have some fun. We're going to give away some cash. If you have Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, you are eligible to win one time $75. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a way for me to say thank you to you guys for your support. I like to share my success and wins with you guys because without you guys, I wouldn't have any success. So it's just a way to give back to you guys for sure. So not seeing a ton. Yeah, I don't like that over there. So that was unfortunate. Don't see a ton over there. Let's go over to the EV tool. And let's select. Let's first look at some FanDuel. Look at DraftKings and Onyx. We'll look at some different odds ranges here. Let's go. That's not how you do it. And let's see. But yeah, if you guys are finding any of this information, any of this valuable, or you please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. And obviously, I actually have my saved filters. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. And if you have questions, email me or DM me. I get back to you typically in less than 24 hours. Even if you're trying to sell me something. David Montgomery, over on his touchdowns at ESPN Bet. This is not good to Circa, but it's very good to Pinnacle. Let's take a look at this. It's better at no vig. Okay, so this is, you got line charts, guys. This isn't just with the platinum plan. This is also offered, and you can't see because my head's in the way. This is also offered just on the gold plan as well. Take advantage of this. This is where betting with your desktop, betting on a laptop is a huge edge because the mobile app does not show this, but the desktop does. And seeing historical line movement from books is massive when you're trying to figure out if you're going to bet on a play or not bet on a play. It's really how I go about it. I understand you guys are busy. You're on your phones a lot. It's easier on your phone than your laptop, but this is a massive feature here. So ESPN Bet has been kind of bouncing back and forth, but as you can see, guys, like 14 hours ago, they were at plus 140. They've just basically kind of came back and reset to where they were. I don't mind something on here. I would probably, for me, go maybe $100 on this play. Gibbs to score a touchdown on no vig. We talked about this earlier. I didn't mind this play. Again, I don't mind it at all here at minus 111 odds. Amon-Ra, yeah, it's a slight edge. We talked about this as well. So I'm fine with all of these plays. These are all Lions. I'm kind of hoping this is like a 44-41 type of game tonight. It would be great to have a shootout. But there also is a chance, guys, this could be a 17-13 game or like a 21-17 type game because both teams have very good defenses. So I'm going to come over here and go log into ESPN Bet and look to hit this play up on Montgomery. Again, if you believe that Circa is a sharper book than Pinnacle, don't bet this Montgomery play. But if you happen to believe that, like I do, that Pinnacle is kind of goated for betting this for anytime touchdowns, then I would go hit this up over on ESPN Bet. So TD scores and total touchdowns. Montgomery's now plus 135. So this is like 2.5%. So in this case, I'm going to put about $65 on this play because now it's not nearly as good as it once was. It's just not. So there we go. I'll still take advantage of this. It's just not as good as it once was. So we'll take that for $65. It's still over a 2% edge. I don't mind it, but that sucks that we couldn't get it there. Again, Odds Jams Bet Tracker completely free, and it really helps kind of keep everything nice and convenient. So as you can see now that's been reflected. Again, the touchdown anytime score odds, guys, it's a plus minus 150. If you want to go beyond that, you can. You're just going to introduce more variance, right? If you go above it, you're going to start to see some guys that maybe aren't in a certain odds range. 1%, I just devig to Pinnacle. I use worst case, and it's just, player touchdowns for today. So if we're going to stay on this, but I'm going to remove this market, and I'm just going to go back to player props. And then that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at what we have going on. Okay, so some different plays here. We got some unders, we got some overs, we got some unders. Lamar, under on his passing touchdowns. Pinnacle's taking $1,000. I don't know what. We're going to make sure that we also take advantage of this FanDuel play, but it might be tough to find one. We got to find some FanDuel value first. Skunky, what's going on, brother? Linky. If you have questions, my friend, this would be where you would want to reach out. Sis, yeah, we'll take a look at the Monday Night Football. Or Monday Night Football pick 6, 50% boost. We can definitely take a look at that. On Onyx, Ian, yeah, we're looking for some more DraftKings plays. I would say I'm okay. If you're getting a 50% boost, because I got to take a look at it. I forgot that they're running. Let me come back to this. Let me come back to log into Onyx. Because I did forget that outside of their long shot boost, they are running. Funny how it's not pulling up for me. I'm not getting a boost from Onyx. Maybe I'm limited on their boosts now. But yeah, if you're receiving a boost, we'll try to look for some plays that have some DraftKings value. So Lamar under on his passing touchdowns. I understand no one likes to bet unders. They're not fun. But Pinnacle's kind of the least bullish on this. Okay. Bookmaker's been chilling here. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that maybe Derrick Henry has 2 rushing touchdowns. Lamar throws 1. He runs 1 in. The Ravens can still put up 35 points and Lamar only throws 1 passing touchdown. That can happen. So I don't mind this play over here. I don't know if I'd bet the full for me 120, but maybe I'd go 75, half of that or 75%. Jameson Williams under 3.5 catches. Bookmaker and Pinnacle are on this again. This is at plus 105 odds. There's only $400 in liquidity here. That doesn't scare me away. So I don't mind the Jameson Williams play. If we start to see this, though, we can see that Pinnacle did fall a large amount in their terms of their price. We can kind of zoom in here. Bookmakers chilling. FanDuel's chilling. Pinnacle dropped. They were at plus 103, and now they're chilling at minus 108. So that's a pretty big deal, especially when Circa hasn't moved. I like the under 3.5. Jameis could easily have, by the way, guys, if you're looking for like an interesting, like anti-correlation type of play, Jameis is the perfect player that can have 3 catches, 110 yards, and 1 touchdown, right? So if you want to take Jameis under on his receptions, but over on his receiving yards, that's a guy, his player archetype is kind of built that way, right? He could definitely do that. Zay Flowers under 5.5 catches. This is a Caesars play. Pinnacle. Okay, this is pretty impactful. Excuse me. So Caesars moved a little bit. Bookmaker moved up a bit. Circus chilling. Pinnacle, though, was at minus 107. Wait a minute. They were at plus 108, excuse me. They're now at minus 106, minus 107. So this play over at Caesars, this is an outlier. Definitely an outlier here. I don't mind going after this as a under 5.5. I don't mind that. I think this is going to go one of two ways today. This is either going to be this is going to be like an over 60 point type of game, or it's going to be under 35 points, maybe under 38 points. Say under 38.5 or like over 60.5 points. I could see this game going one of those two ways. Rushing attempts for Lamar really quick. For my Fliff people, yeah, it's hard not to like this one. It's 14 cents off to FanDuel, 17 cents off to Pinnacle. It's Fliff. If you have a Fliff account, I would bet Lamar over on his rushing attempts. And if you think that the Ravens are going to win, there is a chance that he might take a knee or two. So that can also help you out as well. Justice Hill under on catches. Again, if you see Hard Rock pop up at all, we don't really need to deep dive into Hard Rock too much. They're a really easy book to beat. This is one of those books where you could really just trust that the EV tool is going to be spot on. Jared Goff under on his passing touchdowns. This is an ARB to Circa, which is a big deal. If it's an ARB to a certain book, guys, I would definitely take a look at that. Yeah, Flowers. Yeah, I agree with that, Eric. Flowers over 60 receiving yards, but under 5.5 catches. While Zay sometimes does catch a lot of passes close to the line of scrimmage, boy's got the Jets. He could literally take off at any time. So if you guys are trying to find some interesting angles on SGPs, those are types of plays. I always think of Jameson Williams and George Pickens as the guys that could have under 3.5 catches, but over 100 receiving yards. Guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, granted, against the Cowboys, that didn't happen. Wan'Dale Robinson, typically in his career, is like a over 6.5 catches, under 50 receiving yards kind of guy, right? Honestly, though, if any team that goes up against the Cowboys defense should have a great time. So Packers fans, don't worry. Your luck's going to change this weekend because the Cowboys don't have a defense. Their whole defense left in that trade. So let's stop for a minute because we had someone ask about pick 6 and if we were going to run a 6-pick entry. And so if we were going to do that for the NFL, we would just say, give me some NFL plays. Now, a 50% boost is really good. So what most likely is going to happen here is that you're going to take some plays that are negative EV, but the boost is going to make them positive EV. So in this case, Goff seems to be the best option. It's only 6 cents off and 7 cents off to Pinnacle and FanDuel, but I would take that under on his passing attempts, right? The next play that I would go after is you can't add Goff on his passing touchdowns, probably not. So that kind of sucks. So Tesla, because I'm looking for more Pinnacle odds here. Zay Flowers over 5.5 receptions. The problem here with the 6-pick entry, guys, let me go to 6-pick, is you're getting worse odds than a 3-pick slip. And if hopefully it's no insurance because you're actually getting better odds per play. And the problem here is like you're really taking some really bad plays. Now I don't know if all 6 of these plays have to be on tonight's game. I would assume it has to, right? But the problem here is like we're gonna take some plays that like I don't really like. That's going to be the honest truth here. I don't have 6 plays that I can tell you from this screen that I'm going to give you the double thumbs up on. Most of these plays are going to suck. So honestly, from the fact that they're going to suck from just a top-down sports betting strategy perspective, if you have certain opinions or you think the game is going to go a certain way, then that could be beneficial in creating your 6-pick slip because there isn't enough value here looking at these plays to say bingo, right? Jared Goff, I actually like that play. It's not bad. Okay, it's okay. Zay Flowers, again, this price isn't very good, so we're leaning on the profit boost to be good. Lamar Jackson, the price sucks on a 6-pick slip, but this is okay. So this is one, guys, where I don't mean to like the DraftKings play is just like I can give you 6 picks, but like they're not picks that I would actually want to bet. I don't really want to play this at all. And I'm probably not going to play it. But I understand it's a really good boost. You could, but honestly, I probably wouldn't. But I would say bet some of your opinions that you like because from a top-down analysis, there isn't really anything here that I can recommend. For the Onyx play, it's a little different, right, with the Onyx and DraftKings. Yes, I would just say degen that one. Yeah, and the reason is, guys, is like they're giving you a good boost, but DraftKings is boxing you in to only being able to make picks for today. Anytime that sportsbooks box you in terms of like you can't make a play for Thursday or next weekend's games, you can only do Monday night games, that's a massive advantage for the sportsbooks. So a 50% boost is normally decent, but in this case, ugh. So if you want to bet opinions on like Lamar over on his passing yards, Zay Flowers over on receiving yards, maybe Justice Hill over on receiving yards, or same thing. Goff over receiving yards, Jameson over, maybe Laporta. That's something I can get behind with correlation. I'd rather you run correlated plays that are negative EV, but because of the correlation, they actually turn into be positive EV with the boost. Instead of just trying to pick random plays from the optimizer. It's just not going to be worth it. Amon-Ra, if you can still get this over at Hard Rock, this is, okay, so Hard Rock bounced back from plus 125 to plus 130. I like this. Did I bet this already? I bet this on a 3-pick parlay over here on Hard Rock. I tried to find 3 plays that were EV. They were giving me a bit of a boost. Even with their boost, it wasn't actually as good as it was, but it was close. So I took the lines plus 7.5, Amon-Ra touchdown, Lamar over passing touchdowns. That was my like 3-leg boost over on Hard Rock. Sammy under on his receptions. 15 cents off the Pinnacle, but it's 25 cents off the bookmaker, which is bueno. Anything that's below minus 107 is going to be a good play here. The plays at the moment aren't off and popping really with this Lions game. They're okay. Again, guys, if you're not seeing a lot of value right now, and if you're going to watch the game, live betting is a fantastic time. You'll have a great time live betting and just kind of waiting. My only recommendation, if you are going to live bet, is to wait the first. Let each team possess the ball at least one time before you start to go ahead and live bet. Most of these teams, right, and this is kind of an insight to what I give you with coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one, is that most teams have 20 to 25 plays that are scripted before, as they're ready to go out into the game, right? So I wait until both teams get through their kind of scripted plays. Normally by the third series for each team, they're now just in the flow of the game. Sometimes that might mean that you don't bet the entire first quarter. But that's just one of those cases where most teams have some plays, 15 maybe plays that are scripted. They get through their first series or two. Or if the first series is like 12 plays, then they got through all their scripted plays. But don't live bet right away. Just chill. Go get a sandwich or go grab a cold beer and just watch it. And then towards, once they get the ball the second or third time, then look to live bet. Then use the EV tool to live bet. That would be my recommendation for you guys. Again, if you are new to EV betting, because that's where most of where my expertise is going to come in, because I've been doing it for 4 years. And, arbitrage betting is pretty simple. It's going to be, just day trade the sports books, take advantage of price discrepancies, and go after that. But if you want to, guys, book a free 30-minute call with me. I have various different coaching packages. You can work with me one-on-one. We figure out what your bankroll is, what your risk tolerance is, what sports books are available to you, what sports books you're limited on, right, that really aren't worth your time anymore. We kind of break down an entire game plan for you to really help you no matter what season, no matter what sport. I give you the best of the best. It's basically, instead of you using the EV tool and trying to figure this out yourself, I just tell you the best of the best and what to focus on, right? Because there's definitely some things that I leave out from videos because I think they're very valuable. And so that's what you'll get with me working one-on-one with coaching. So book a free 30-minute call. Let's have a chat. Let's see if there's a fit. As we get back over here, right, outside of Pinnacle, if we wanted to look at another book that I think is very sharp, it would be Bookmaker. And again, if you want to try OddsJam 1 week for free, guys, save 35% off your first month after the 1 week trial ends. Use code Billy35. Jared Goff, under on his passing attempts. Over at Bet Openly, peer-to-peer sportsbook. They don't care how much money we wager. This is also good over at BetMGM. And normally, if I'm seeing a play that's close to BetMGM, I want to bet this. So Bet Openly, there's $100 available. I don't know if I have any money in my Bet Openly account, which could be good news for you. I actually don't. I would definitely bet this. If I had the money in my account, I'd bet this full $100 on Goff under 34.5. If we're looking at Goff to not throw a pick, shout out to Russ Wilson yesterday, throwing that pick. Bro threw 2 of them. He looked like trash yesterday. This is not a bad play over at DraftKings. I don't think Onyx is offering this at the moment. It's not hard, guys. Outside of ProfitX, no one else is offering plus odds on this under. Circa's not, Bookmaker's not, FanDuel's not. I would bet this on DraftKings. If you're looking to put together an SGP, I would take Amon-Ra St. Brown to catch a touchdown, anytime touchdown, Jared Goff not to throw a pick. If you're going to get a 3-leg SGP boost, then we just got to find one more, right? That's what I would definitely do. Mark Andrews under longest reception. Has anyone noticed how Mark Andrews here? Mark Andrews minus 105. It's not quite that good anymore. Mark Andrews has fallen off a cliff. Whatever happened to that dude? They just don't need him like they used to. They really, really don't. What else do we have here? This is just looking at Bookmaker, guys. If you're just tuning in right now, I promise, I will be streaming tomorrow morning. We do have a lot of baseball games. There's really only one baseball game tomorrow that I really care about. That's the Tigers and the Guardians. The rest of the games, a couple of them maybe have some value. But again, this is the last week of Major League Baseball, guys. So like next week will be exciting. Betting playoff baseball. God, I can't wait to bet a bunch of unders on playoff baseball next week. This week is kind of like there's not as much at stake. You really want to focus on teams and matchups that have a lot at stake. The Tigers-Guardians game would be that game tomorrow. There's a 1-game difference between the two of them to win the division. They're going to be playing. It might be a good game to bet the under on, honestly, because it's going to be really, really tight. It's going to be a playoff baseball type atmosphere. Yeah, Arturi really is. Really is. IG, we already looked at it earlier. On Onyx, it wasn't available at plus 180 odds. It was plus 165. I still have Onyx actually pulled up right now, and it's back to plus 180, guys. All right, I'm in on this. Thank you for letting me know, IG, because earlier it was at 165. Let me refresh this real quick, because if this is the case on Lamar, we want this. I want him at plus 180. Oh, yeah, we definitely want this. Okay, so again, I'll take a bit of a guess here. It might be a $100 wager size for me. Nothing went wrong. Trust me, nothing went wrong, dude. Give me a quick refresh. Dude, I got to log in again? Dude, come on. This is ridiculous. I don't want Lamar over. Give me the anytime. You got to go to the anytime touchdown, guys. That's where you're going to get these odds. Don't go to the over-under, because you can see they have them at plus 171. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. It's 165. At 171, if you come down here, guys, honestly, at 171, to me, it's worth more like $50. It's okay. Yeah, it's at 165. So they're like, this is why sometimes Onyx, fix your shit. It's not good. It's not good, Onyx. If you can get this over at DraftKings, though, at 180, guys, I do like that. I like it quite a bit. And if we're looking for this FanDuel play, let's see if we can find anything for FanDuel. Because I would really, really, really like to find FanDuel. Let's kind of clear all this out. Let's clear the percentage out. And let's just take a look at everything. Laporta under 4.5 receptions. Not good to Pinnacle. It's very good to Bookmaker. Did Bookmaker move? They did about 2 hours ago. And then Pinnacle moved as well, but then they retreated all the way back. I don't like seeing Pinnacle retreat all the way back on this play. But again, if it's a 30% boost, I would take Laporta under 4.5. I'm okay with that. If we wanted to go something long shot crazy, I'm just going to look for FanDuel to be the brightest of the green here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Over 1.5 touchdowns for Jahmyr Gibbs. It's okay. It's not great. Jared Goff, anytime touchdown, that's kind of a wild one. Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell's kind of crazy if we're looking for some long shot stuff, right? Because I want to have some fun with this if I can only do $10. I would either take Jared Goff or I would take Keaton Mitchell. Where's Jared at? Plus 2,200 is not bad. So normally, obviously, Jared Goff is not much of a sneak kind of guy, right? Or we could do Keaton Mitchell. Or we could do both, to be honest with you. If this is a crazy long shot parlay, again, guys, tail with caution. But I would go down here. I would go to touchdown scores because this could be a crazy game. You never know. And I would just come all the way down here to Mr. Goff to where's Keaton Mitchell at? This would be a wild one. Did they not? Is it not showing? Or I just passed them up. That's all. I had to have passed them up. Wow, they're not showing that? Okay. Well, then we'll look for player receptions. Not alt receptions, but just regular receptions. Where's regular receptions at? You could tell I haven't hit too many of these up before, guys. So I do apologize for the scrolling. They got to show it. Because we can only take the overs, right? Or we can't take unders. See, this is why I hate about SGPs, because this is why so if you guys are new to sports betting, just so you know, if you don't know, most SGPs on most books are garbage. Like, they're one of the worst bets you can make because they won't let you bet an under. Zay Flowers, they will only let you bet an over. I mean, God forbid, maybe Zay Flowers gets shut down to 25 yards receiving. Then you lose. So this is why, like, SGPs suck on so many sports books. They're one of the worst bets that you can possibly make. Every now and then, though, when you can find value on overs, then it's worth it. Otherwise, like, I can't even bet the under on Sam Laporta. There's rushing yards, passing yards, TDs. Here we go. Player total receptions. It just took me a minute. Apologies. There we go. Under 4.5. So now I just got to find one more. I got a $41 bonus bet too? Oh, dude. Never mind that. We're putting this bonus bet on this. Heck yeah. 2-leg parlay bonus bet. $41. It's going to pay me out $1,600. It's really just Jared Goff. If Jared Goff scores a touchdown, guys, we're looking really, really good. So there we go. Got a little bonus bet going on here. Didn't realize I had a $41 bonus bet, which was awesome. So I think that's because of the CD play, guys, by the way. If you didn't know this, we kind of got robbed yesterday because Mike Evans scored, Tony Pollard scored, CD got hurt, and I think that's why FanDuel gave me a bonus bet because of that. So what I'm going to do is, I've told you guys before, I don't put my bonus bets on something small. Like, if this hits, I'm making $1,600, right? And really all we need is Jared Goff to hit the touchdown, and if he does, now we're looking at a flip of a coin for Sam Laporta. So, yeah. But if we're going to go back to the well, what else can I find here that could be kind of decent? So we talked about Laporta. Like, I would go back and do this again. We'll just look at some different DVIG settings. Rashad Bateman over 3.5 catches. And then Jackson under on his passing touchdowns. Okay. So then the 3-pick parlay, because I got the boost available, would be player passing touchdowns. Bateman to get, 4 catches. Okay. And then let's look at, I don't want his alt passing touchdowns right here. Lamar under 1.5. And then what other sports book is kind of showing us? And what you guys can do here, you click the play, just click add to parlay. That's all you got to do. Same thing here. Click add to parlay. And then what other book can maybe find? We can find something on Circa. Nothing. Bookmaker, we saw the Laporta play. I could go back to that if I wanted to. I don't know how bad I want to. So I guess I'll go back to Laporta because it was good to Bookmaker. And if we're going to get let down, then let's get let down on that one. So this would be an under 4.5, and then there's our 30% boost. And again, this $10 will pay me out $140, which is nice. That's decent, right? So there's our parlay. If this could be an awesome night tonight, or it could be not, but we'll see. Rashad to get 4, Lamar to throw for less than 1.5 passing touchdowns, Laporta under on his receptions. I'm okay with that. That's cool with me. And again, I'm putting this on long shot plays, right? Now I literally have $10 that's going to pay me out $140. So stop putting your profit boosts on minus 300s to get it down to like minus 200. Don't do that. Put it on something that's maybe between a plus 100 to a plus 300 odds range. You're going to have some fun with it. Yeah, Tavon, I took that on a parlay with Hard Rock earlier because it was EV for Hard Rock. So I took that earlier, but that's what I don't mind that. Plus 7.5, it's a very key number, so I don't mind that at all. Do I think Mookie is 4CX a legit peer-to-peer? Yes, I do. I use it quite a bit. It's great. I've requested withdrawals. They've paid me. I've made deposits. I have no problems with 4CX. I definitely like them as a legit play. Yeah, Ken, listen, dude, I understand. Maybe the Laporta gets 9 catches for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. It could happen. But I also subscribe to the fact that sports betting is unpredictable. So sometimes things go exactly like we scripted. Like last night, it was an unders kind of game for the Giants and for the Chiefs. Sometimes crazy things happen. So we'll see. We'll see, man. No problem, man. Yeah, Ken, definitely from the Lamb injury. So, I could have converted that elsewhere, but I would rather put it on a long shot play and fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Never know. All right, guys, I'm going to go lock it in, get ready to just kind of grab some dinner and then live bet this game tonight. I will be streaming tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, getting ready for looking at some Major League Baseball. We'll take a peek at some home runs and pitcher strikeouts. Still worth it to take a peek on some of these long shot plays. We'll start to get ready. We'll do a lot of college football and NFL betting, spreads, money lines, totals for college football week 5, NFL week 4. Start to look at maybe anytime touchdown scores for the Thursday night game. There's going to be a lot to envelop. Your Monday through Wednesdays, guys, should be your busiest time betting spreads, money lines, and totals for football, college or pro. That's where you're going to find really good value. Look at the weather conditions. I made video on OddsGM's channel a couple weeks ago. Look at the weather conditions. Look at what you think is going to happen, and then see if you can find some spots. Maybe you can bet some key numbers, right? Maybe you can get, I don't know. Maybe you can get one of the teams at plus 3.5, and at kickoff they go to plus 3 or plus 2.5, right? Maybe you can get a team at minus 2.5 instead of minus 3 or minus 3.5. Look for those key numbers for betting spreads. But otherwise, enjoy the football night. Should be a dandy of a game. And may all your bets cash. You have the greatest night of your life betting. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning.